Hello there everybody and welcome back to another video. In this one I'm taking some Hattons coaches and I'm detailing and weathering them up, so I've got one side that's LMS and one side that is for the Heapton Colliery light railway. Okay, first job, I'm going to pay attention to the roof. Now you can see this obviously has been touched. These two have been sprayed over with like a dark grey and they've had weathering done underneath. You can kind of see the streaking there. Going to do it the other way around with this. I did the streaking bit and then painted it with the spray paint. I'm going to do it the other way around with this one. I'm going to mask up and then I'm going to cut some patches out just so there's a little bit of a textured effect, and then I'm going to go over and do the weathering with like a weathered black and a weathered grey. So yeah, first job, mask up. Masking has been done. Obviously the paint will all be being applied from the top, so the masking's not perfect, but it's worked on the others. I just use this Halford stuff as opposed to like more cheaper alternatives. This actually isn't too bad. I think it was like £2 for a roll of it, and I've been using it for a little bit. But yeah, basically you can see I've also torn up some bits just to stick onto the roof, just a bit of tonal variation really, to weather around it. Yeah, just so it's not just one big long flat surface, a little bit like what I tried on the others. But yeah, you can actually see at the moment the difference in the underframes, which will be the next job. So yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so the way that I attack underframes on coaches and stock generally is pretty ham-fisted. Basically, I just spray this light, which is a multi-purpose grey, but it's got a really nice tone to it. It's not too thick either. But yeah, basically I just spray that on just to give it that. It's just the initial weathering really, just that dirt and grot generally that gets on underframes. Obviously if you were doing this to like coaches that were running in rates of like 20, that'd be an issue because the paint does impact the wheels and how easily they can turn. But as this will be running in a set of 3 or 4, at most 5, I don't really mind what it's going to be. What pulls it isn't going to be phased by that, and the wheels all still turn. So yeah, basically you can see the difference: grey, black, black, and grey. So I'm going to spray the other side up now, and then get on to the rest of the weathering. All right, now it's time to attack the roof. You can kind of see how I've done this on the other ones as well. Basically, just mask again using the same tone that I did for the chassis. Just mask the top. I'm going to attack it from the top, so it doesn't matter that the sides aren't necessarily that covered. And basically just make sure that everything's tacked in all around. You can see this has already actually had one go over it, but during my experiments in weathering roofs, I found that it's best to do the base coat and then kind of do some of the more intricate weathering over the top of that. So yeah, that's kind of what the next stage of this is. Hopefully it'll dry before I go out to my model club tonight, as I kind of want to get these running. These coaches have got 2 sides and I'm going to use that to my advantage here. This side is a lot cleaner. This is the LMS side. This is the Heapton Colliery light railway side. This is going to be my light railway side, so you can kind of see I've done a little bit of dry brushing in of a darker tone on some of these coaches just to help make them look a little bit grottier. So that's what I'm working on the brake coach, just dusting it on really gently, just so there's a layer of soot and other grossness on there. Not that it's overpowering, but it's evident that this is in day-to-day use, but not the most important thing. You know, like a lot of colliery light railways, the passenger traffic is not what earns the most money, thus it is not often paid attention to. These coaches are meant to be decades old in colliery service. So yeah, just a little case of doing that. Anywhere I think it's gone a little bit too deep, just a cotton bud, just to brighten it up a little bit, tidy it up. Just helps it make it look a little bit more lived in. So this last little bit of weathering is using some MIG dark earth, and that's basically kind of been mixed in with a little bit of rust weathering powders, basically just to highlight some of the detail on the underframe, mainly going for the springs and things like that, things that pick up the gunk really. Good little tone this, I use this all the time to be fair.
Annoyingly, editing this video together, I've lost the footage of me removing the LMS numbers and decals from one side. So I did that, obviously, to create the Heapton Colliery Light Railway side. I kept them unbranded. It was quite rare that Colliery's ever branded up coaches. But yeah, the underframes have actually been weathered basically the same either side. There won't be much difference.
With that final piece of weathering, that is about the end of this project, for the moment at least anyway. Now, part of this obviously was that I wanted coaches that would represent two different times in history. One when they're second hand in the LMS, and one when they're probably third or fourth hand when they're owned by the Heapton Colliery Light Railway. Now, two of these coaches are showing their Colliery side, one of them is showing their LMS side. Can you work out which one it is? Yeah, no, obviously it's this one in the middle, innit? Loads cleaner, now it's loads grubbier. And yeah, these coaches do exactly what I wanted them to do. The LMS sides look good. It's just a shame I don't really have any appropriate LMS locomotives, for the moment anyway. But these look really good on the colliery sides. Very impressed with these. These Hattons coaches are phenomenal. The next thing for me is probably going to be to add some people inside. But I don't want to overcrowd them. I'll probably only put half a dozen in each one. But I'm waiting on a delivery of figures from China, so I'm going to leave that for now. But that concludes the detailing and the weathering of these Hattons coaches. And I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. And I'll catch you in the next one, whenever that'll be. In a bit.